You have a, you've missed probably the first 15 seconds, but nothing has happened. So if you've missed VP's games on Dust2, they like to go B. And JKS is towards the back of platform. There we got the 1x bet odds leaning heavily in VP's favor now. And here they come.
Yeah.
You would think that VP would maybe start hitting A. But no, here they come again. JKS, good luck, you're on your own.
He's smoked off, and they can just burst out of that smoke at 500 different trajectories. He's Molotoved off. His teammates are flashed off. I just feel like I know how this story ends. Brutality. There's a fast flank out of Poison, but that lurk smoke they dropped is actually acting quite nicely as a little shield for the setup and enabling the plant. That was a long-range goosh into poor old Esatag. Yeah. So, something I was going to say, and it looks like Poison is going to get another chance into another frag. Now, with the kit on Blame, they're going to give it a good go, and a couple more headshots. We could be talking about a complexity recovery here. One-on-one, he has the kit. He just needs this shot, and he's got it. What a recovery out of complexity. I assumed this was done and indeed dusted appropriately on Dust2. Complexity with the recovery.
Oh, that's surprising, especially after losing the site and NATO and JKX getting absolutely nothing done. That was a 3-on-5.
Yeah,
and it's a B retake.
The point I was trying to make was, imagine if JKS, you know, fights them off immediately, just slaps them away like an irritating fly. If you lock them away and out of the B options early and they start feeling like it's not viable, I could see a world where complexity truly upset the VPD2 playbook.
I still don't quite understand how you win a 3-on-5 post-plant situation on the B bomb site. I know he got 2 and Blame got 2, but VP kind of had to gift them a couple of biffs there. So they've gone into the Force Buy. Their purchase, no word of a lie, looks better. They have an AK, 2 Galils, a Scout for Jame, and Deagle for Kickit, even with a bit of utility behind it here. And that, comparing to the other side of things, is an M4 of Famus, a Jiggle out mid, and a Wiggle out mid here as Blame will take down your Kinder.
Yeah, if I was watching anyone's demos to learn how to kind of destabilize VP's Dust2, it would be Yakinda. Like any of his opening moves, if I can just make sure I'm holding weird ratty angles for his clears.
Yeah, because he's very procedural about how he does things, right? Got all the jiggles in the world.
Blame, he's managed to not only deal with Yakinda, he's grabbed the AK, he backs and bolsters the B defense. It's pretty solid at this point. It's hard for me to visualize a way in which VP get back in, and just as I say that, Kickit's one out, his dual Blame commits to the spray, and it results in his death and departure now. Wide open once again. Well,
they know now they can go either side into a 2-2, because Blame is the A swing player, so not a full commit just yet, but they are having a look in towards A. Poison's Scout needs to strike, and he's actually been dinked away. The headshot is better, though, and Poison says, no, you won't be coming A just yet.
Oh, now what? Buster's poking middle. He's lost Kickit on long. He's lost Buster up mid with him. Poor soul, Jame and his Scout. It's really no fun for anyone, and he either wants to die or run away. Take me, just kill me, Esatag, taking his time, gets it done, and Cole will make it too.
Well, NATO and JKS have to be very happy with Blame that round, because Blame got the kill, got the AK, gave JKS the M4, and then when he died, NATO got the AK there. So, profit for the B defenders, they're happy with that one, and I think they might be under the pump this game. So, getting them as flush as possible is probably important to do so. Now, it will be VP just down to these pistols. And I think one of the keys is complexity not flubbing any number advantage situations like they did in the early stages of Mirage. Yanko highlighted one of those perfectly on the desk for everybody playing at home.
2v4.
Yeah. And I guess for VP, it probably could have said the same thing with them not losing pistol round in the fashion they did. Now, they're very grindy, VP. They're going to slowly work away at you. Boost over the smoke here. Who's going to get spotted first? Who's got keener eyes? Is it the young Mr. Savage? Indeed it is. So, mowing down 2. Getting that job done. And just getting picked apart here across the map. These upgraded pistols really not up to the task. Ouch. A kill's nice. A plant would be better. A minute on the clock. Let's see. How far are VP going to push the issue here? Oh, not out long. Esatag has cleaned up that side of the map. Jame is quickly running to see if he can fill that void.
3 Danes, though, in the starting roster of Cole when Config returns.
I reckon by the start of next year, it'll be 5.
Yeah, the full conversion.
Either...
Oh!
Sorry,
shame.
what?
I mean, he's dead now, but damn. He makes that costly, for sure. And yeah, Poison's only going to leave with a Galil.
Very costly.
Eesh. Well, that could come back to haunt them. Good shots out of Jame, all things considered. He's lost all his teammates in the opening spray. You can see this is exactly how he lost the B-Tons players. But yeah, let me see this second one again. Bang, long range, and bang, see a nerd. The MP9 of S-Attack not able to convert.
All right, well, he started working on that CT side of bank balance early, has Jame. He's got his AWP out.
Also, how dare you imply that Poison's not going to be in this roster forever?
Well, Graham's there now, you know, from North. He'll probably just pick up, you know, you see...
Can you imagine the announcement? Messios Pit has blown the Counter-Strike world wide open here as he brings MSL out of South into Complexity.
Buys Gade back from Big.
It's a crazy roster move. We've never seen anything like it.
Oh, dear.
It seems he wants to bring in Henny, actually, and they're going to transition into Portuguese-speaking roster.
Oh, dearie me. All right, here we go. No, I just think that, like, Astralis and Complexity might have some discussions towards the tail end of this year or the start of next, but I'm getting ahead of myself.
You are. And to nip us in the bud is, never mind. Thought they were going to do something quickly for a second there. Walking on down mid, the Yakinda project begins. Everyone else stands still. Yakinda takes all of Short and Tons at his own pace.
Yeah, like, this is allowed, right? And you're going to wonder, why is nobody fighting? Why is nobody picking? Because, truthfully, they're scared of James AWP, right? Really, if we're going to be honest about it, they're scared of James AWP. Oh, this might be spicy here. Hello.
He's got a little pop flash lined up to catch Buster, and it is the perfect pop. Unfortunately, JKS didn't go wide to it. Maybe he doesn't even have the info on it. Good timing from S-Attack to drop that smoke, and there is a bit of a gap that he's going to be hearing, and rather holding. I heard a scope elsewhere. Nade over both of these short players, but Blame holding a bit of isolation utility, and as that smoke fades, the flash is perfect. Yakinda should trade, but he can't. S-Attack, that gets 2. And JKS has got a lot to do. James still a threat. He's always a threat, and now Buster's got B wide open. Look how quickly these rounds can turn around. This is the Virtus.pro Dust2. This is why this map is so synonymous with them being irritating and difficult to crush. The cockroach that just keeps on finding new ways to get into your setup. And a flash for NATO. He's got a lot to do here. He has to win this duel with Buster.
Oh, they're waiting for Blame in tunnels right now.
It's okay.
If Sanji spotted Blame at doors, he'll have a good idea of this.
Yeah, he's waiting for Blame as well. Does look like VP might be able to just take this one. He's walking on in. Sanji's so aware of Blame's push, and this is the timing Blame was waiting for. He just take a little glance. It seems that they're all locked in. And Chad's going to be a little upset, but all 3 of them will successfully save as well.
I'm just a little bit confused because it looked like for a moment there they were going to go for it. NATO might do some damage on the way out the door here. Just the damming, not the edge. And the save will come on through. 3 players of VP survive.
Have we got any herbologists in the chat, in the stream? Anyone that could identify what desert flower is at that Bricks location?
Okay.
No, I'm not joking. It looks like a succulent to me. That's my guess.
We live in a very hot place, right?
Yeah, Malta, we're familiar. Maybe it's a cacti.
They have
some description.
You know there's so many gum trees in Malta?
Gum tree?
Yeah, Australian eucalyptus trees.
Sweet. Oh, is that what you call gum trees are eucalyptus?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought it was 2 separate things.
No, same thing.
Hello, hello. From aloe to elo. It's a stretch, I admit. Have you seen them shucking aloe out of eucalyptus leaves, though?
No, I haven't.
Aloe vera? I could be getting this wrong.
I don't think you get aloe vera out of eucalyptus leaves. I think you get aloe vera out of an aloe vera plant.
You're going to say it's out of an aloe vera plant, aren't you?
Yeah, aloe vera plants are more of like the light green, and they have the spikes on the edges, and they are in a triangular formation.
I've seen like long, green,
A eucalyptus tree is, the leaves on those are quite small, and it's a fully fledged tree.
I'm not a herbologist, I've made it clear, and I don't think herbology is the right word either.
And koalas eat eucalyptus.
Oh, they do?
Yes. It gets them high.
I heard they all have herpes as well.
That's true too. Actually, I think it's chlamydia.
I'm really not on the ball today, am I? Sorry for all the koalas out there. Didn't mean to offend. And yeah, the CTs have ran out of resources. It's just NATO and his teammate hanging out with a USP. They've upgraded nicely. Thank you, JKS.
Well, they're going to try and save the AWP. It's basically the same weaponry they had in the previous year. Yikinda already trying to cut off JKS, and Sanji is about to appear. As NATO not ready for that one, so VP find their second, and JKS is playing a quick game of prop hunt here. Wants to turn himself into that tire, I'm sure.
Or the football.
Kick him around.
What are you taking? Over, under on him saving?
He's saving. He's all good. No, he's not all good anymore.
I'm not sure.
Well, he took one with him. Does that count?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because I believe the words you said were he's saving.
Yeah.
So does that count?
Saving face with a kill. Sorry, I didn't get to finish my sentence.
I'm glad you did. No, I'm glad you did in the end. Well, Chad was bang on. Gets the kill.
Okay, let's see. Can VP get 3 on the trot here? If they do, the money will be broken for complexity, and it should become a bit of an open runway to 5 for the Virtus.pro. Ho, ho, ho. No AWP for the CT side. It's going to be an MP9 for Poison. That is nowhere near the 47-50 he requires for the scoped big green. And this is, well, Yikinda up catwalk. It's a story of many parts. He gets up here with a full bag of utility. He just gets to walk.
And he can do whatever he wants with this.
Yeah, this is the thing, right? If you're VP and you get cat control this early, it's like getting banana in my mind on Inferno. Like, you may as well, if you can get it that fast and you can get your teammates to back you up quickly, go for just a bit of a quick A piece. Especially if they identify that there's no AWP in play. Like, a cat execute with no orb almost feels like a bit of a dream.
Yeah, and they love this though. What they'll do is they'll smoke out and threaten mid to B, see if Yikinda gets anything for free, and then they can hard commit A if they do get pokey and proddy. Now, they haven't. I think the B defenders, JKS and NATO, on a very passive hold, have nothing to report. Yikinda's going to be lining up some util. I think James throwing one from way downtown as well. See that sailing into the A site now. And Yikinda starts his prowl. They've thrown the Vanguard from way downtown. And it's all the mid to B. JKS and NATO have been waiting for this. 30 seconds, got a lot to do, and it's only NATO with a FAMAS. The crosshairs are on him. And eliminated. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, and it's perfect that using this round, Chad, where you say, look, why don't you just hard execute into A? There was 3 CTs there, but if you make it just convincing enough where no one can justify leaving their positions, you're walking down a very comfortable street.
It's the swing player, which is Blame F. That's the role he plays, right? If they are able to condition him so he cannot assist the B bomb site whatsoever, they put themselves in the best place. If he's in CT spawn and they throw A utility and he creeps up the ramp to help A, then he can't help with the mid to B.
Mission accomplished.
They've done exactly the job that they're looking for here. They give themselves an easier avenue for the mid to B. And then you would say, okay, we'll bring out double orbs. Have one orb per A and one orb per B, and then you could maybe play a bit of a setup where you have one rifle player locked down long, one AWP player mid-long watching towards short, 2 players in B and an AWPer flirting around mid. Then you get into problems the other way. Okay, well, they feign a mid to B. You can't cross across mid doors. There's only 2 players at A. They get the site. Your long AWPer has to play retake, and then you're in the same scenario. So you're screwed either way here.
Yeah, I mean, it is, you know, it's a joy in one way, or one definition of the word, to watch a map that's been played so long be solved to this extent. Poison's done very well on that exchange. He's got a lot or more people pushing for that pit fight. How is Attack supposed to support him? He's got no nades. He couldn't bail his teammate out at all. Now, the B defenders, all 3 of them, I should highlight, are on a bit of a dank flank, and VP have not fully committed to the long in. So hang on, hold on. Hold your horses. There's 3 walking up. JKS tons, NATO from T-spawn. Oh, JKS has done very well. Nearly another onto the head of James. And Blame from behind can strike. Wow, complexity, the stars have aligned for them here. This was supposed to be a guarantee. They got the opening frag out long, isolated Poison. They had full control of it, but yeah, some weapons recovered, and just this push for info has rendered VP looking a little limp.
Well, this is great. In the early stages, Complexity have won 2 rounds they probably shouldn't. One being the pistol rounds, and now this being light upgrade and some save rifles here. And look, there's no other way to split it. It's a great positioning on the CT side was able to do it, and they got lucky.
But yeah, I just wanted to highlight that this was what OG were doing on gun rounds. That pushed tons. Like, the reason that VP's at Dust2 looked a bit weak at times and why they felt like they were solved and they always felt like they had the CTs in the right place was because they had 2 players very actively setting themselves up for Info B. Yeah,
they weren't isolated by having to cross. They were giving themselves other ways.
Right, so you're trying to do a mid-B wrap. Well, you've lost tons. Buster doesn't have that guaranteed info anymore, and I felt like that was a big reason why OG smashed through on their CT side, made VP look a bit silly at times, just like this round did. You know, like they don't no longer look like the Sith, whatever, Megazord.
Sith Megazord. We've got the Star Wars combined with the Power Rangers.
Yeah.
The Sith Megazord.
Yeah.
Everyone's favorite.
And it can only be countered, apparently, by P250's pushing tunnels.
That's a great one. The Jedi X-Men or something.
The Jedi Exodia.
Okay, Yu-Gi-Oh! Now. Or is it Exo?
Yeah, you're right.
It's Exo. Yeah. All right, well, that's actually a lifeline for Complexity, because I was starting to give you the chant of the G2 fans around the world who want to see Complexity lose here today to give themselves a shot. Out long we go. This is a gear shift. Okay, again, they've pushed out the long doors. They've got control. Will they stay to their guns this time and just continue with the space they have, or will they walk back into the unknown?
Poison sticking around. He will be flashed off and forced away, but it's just Sanji trying to sell this.
They're doing the same thing they did last round.
Yeah, but this time no loss of the tons. Buster lives on and enables him to set his team up for success. Pop flashes galore. James to lock down the door. NATO cannot cross while James is posted up, and it seems they're sketched and scared of a bit of a mid to B. Uh-oh, barrel, and that's S-Attack. There's more coming. James gonna do it all here. Oh no, it's too easy with the no-scope. Flame just trying to trifle with death. And he does meet it. Yakinda's already flanking. JKS is looking the wrong way. This one is a guarantee for VP. Just NATO. Now, bomb planted thanks to Kicker. He's managed to scavenge away an AWP and will look to maintain.
I think if they hit the emergency button here, they could rock a double AWP setup with either JKS or NATO. I think NATO's probably done a bit more AWPing. Oh no, he's not even going to save it. AWPing in his career. I know JKS in 100 Thieves, he did a bit. Obviously, there's certain maps where he was doing it, but for them, I think Dust2 was one of them, Train was another. But Config seems to do more of the secondary AWPing throughout Complexity, and Config's not here. So if they wanted to rock that setup, they could, and I'm not sure if that will be the change they're looking for. But when the guns come back out, VP able to convert and keep things level at 4-4. We have another timeout called, and it is from Complexity again.
Peacemaker on the mic.
Yeah, and I think it's probably a good thing. You know, I don't know exactly what type of coach Keita was. I know that he's a smart lad when it comes to the Counter-Strike brain. I just don't know if he would have had the cojones to be like overruling Blame in certain situations. And I don't think that Peacemaker would have any issues doing that. I think if he saw something a certain way, he would let them know.
True.
So maybe that's a mix-up that could work in their favor.
Yeah, I mean, just having conviction in your own opinion, it's a big part of the role. And I think Peacemaker's got that in spades. 4 versus 4 right out of the gate, and Yakinda's not done. Anybody else, he says, as the supportive flashes are there, and he just lurks in the safe haven he found within the flames. Oh, this one's starting to run away from Complexity, Chad. I'm already getting that sinking feeling as to VP picking up steam. The CT's battered and bruised. They'll do their due diligence. 2 smokes for the cross. No one on site to actively defend this. They're just staring at a grey screen, and a pop flash play ain't awful. It isn't bad. And NATO's going to give it all it's got. 1 and done.
The bomb's loose.
Good timing on that nade. He looks promising for a good kill. He actually finishes off Yakinda with that, and Blame realizes it's game on. Play this one smart. They're looking for JKS, and they do find him. looking the wrong way. Buster with impact in this round. That's double kill from him. Blame the unknown entity. Wasn't spotted when they last cleared elevator, so they're looking long. And oh, a little glance out of kick it, and it does pull it into a 1v1. Buster, that's smart. Actively hunts the jewel, doesn't let Blame reset. And it will post a 5th for the VP boys. Complexity broken.
Yeah, it's still on a bit of a nice edge in the sense that Complexity winning that pistol save round just a few ago gave them a buffer of economy in this one. But I know what you're saying, because now it should be VP locking in the 6th. You'll get another gun round out of Complexity in not too far from now, but it's going to be this same cycle that they're going to find themselves in of maybe we just lose territory, we save, we have to go for some rounds. It's still close right now. I think if VP are starting to get in the realms of 8 or 9, that's more than comfortable. Sanji's about to get some business. Oh, and I'll kick it, stole the customer. He's going to be having commission on that one. The bomb's dribbled out the doors. That could have got a lot messier. And it's spicy all over the place here. Some dinks are coming out, but they will get across the line. VP survive for their 6th. And G2 fans now, I'm starting to hear them. I'm starting to feel them.
You haven't got your double AWP once. I don't think they've really had the funds. I was looking at it. They had a couple of, like, they'd have to go double glass cannon, but never, ever seen the opportunity arise. If Complexity can start stringing together a couple, we may get that look. Might
be a super late play with that here. I just want to bring up these emails again just to make sure I have all the relevant information here. Now, the reason I'm saying I can hear the G2 fans, G2 require Complexity to lose this game for them to have any shot in qualifying for the playoffs. Contingent on them also winning later today against Fours in the final best of 3.
Yeah, I mean, that's a product of G2 losing to Complexity, right? A full 3-mapper. It keeps them in it, and an opportunity to qualify. They even had it here. Have they, or should they, beat VP, Complexity would be into the round of 12. That's impressive considering the circumstances. And we've seen this take before out of VP. We have seen something rather familiar. It's a short-sided assault.
Do they full commit this one, you reckon?
I reckon this is an all-in. Yakinda patrolling, looking for Blame. The nade is in a great spot to isolate him down, chunk him down nicely. Hit 54. A smoke that Blame plans to peek around, and down goes Yakinda in pursuit. And there's Poison just booked completely. Oh, Yakinda go kill. NATO through the smoke. S-Attack strikes onto kick it. It's not a guarantee anymore. And Sanji's still top mid, so these two, NATO and JKS, have got a trifle with Buster's angle. Well, S-Attack works with Jame.
Oh, lured in.
Lured in, exactly. And now Sanji, he's away from the site. Someone defuse. It may not be planted for him. They have got no kit, though. This could be the Sanji special. He's even got a nade for good measure. Lines are up. And down he goes. Okay, Complexity say play on.
VP have given them some absolute gifts this game. 3 already. 3 out of the 5 rounds they have.
The pistol, for example?
The pistol, the P250 round with JKS and Lower Dark, and now that one. Yakinda gets you 2 cracking openings. You have the site secured. You get a little bit overzealous. You get baited into a peak wide like Buster there, and you get punished. Complexity, sure, they're operating with a standing, they're operating with a new player, they're operating with a new coach, but they're not slouches as far as players go. You're going to give them a chance. They'll take it. They'll grab it with both hands. JKS finishing off Sanji there, and yeah, facepalm indeed. How many more of them are you going to give?
Yeah, it's such a horrible feeling when you know that round was destined for you. Oh, and James just doesn't seem to miss those. I can't believe it wasn't even a wall bang. He like tracked NATO so well. It was prior to the door being in his crosshair.
Okay.
Ugh.
4v5.
Yeah, unlosable in the right minds with the right execute.
As Hampus would say on Ancient, just go B.
Just go B.
Now they could just go B. And if Jame does what Jame does, which is lockdown rotations, they can keep him apart. Yakinda, you're about to have company, mate. You and Kick It about to get a few angry CTs knocking on your door.
Yeah, and that flash is going to be perfect. Oh, now Poison's got it. Yakinda down. Suddenly that 5v4 advantage is missing. And they're contesting short. Poison's hitting every shot he can. It does look good for Cole now. A quick recovery from them. Don't you dare feed the beast. Whatever you do, JKS has got so much responsibility on his position. If he goes down, they can flood B. Do they know that? Can they work that out themselves? They've got Sanji long, it might pull them into the A stack. Mid to B smoke deployed, and James does try and bait S attack. He tags him. Both of them have exchanged damage, but Poison has to push through the smoke. And Buster can get it all done here. Oh, Buster has wraps it up for VP, and very far from what was intended. But it does come through. Triple kill out of Buster on those rotates.
And you see what Complexity have to do? They have to make these plays that are outside of the norm, right? Okay, we have to triple short and take territory. We have to cross through the mid-smoke to make sure we get ground back. They're having to do these plays you would rather not, just to see if they can be competitive. But Buster locks it all down.
Yeah, that's silly. Like, that's crazy. You can see how JKS is feeling the frustrations there, because 1, fine, 2, okay, but losing 3 to that pushed up AK. You knew where he was after the first. That's just good play out of Buster, and the contrary for Cole. Well, this is one of those rounds where people are shouting at each other and bickering, running around with P250s and Deagles. Let's see if they can get anything done with this one. VP, you'll never guess which letter of the alphabet they prefer. Ooh, and a perfect little pop flash. So no one's got any info. Everyone screens white at the boot camp. It still enables JKS to get one. They don't get any more though, right? VP don't lose another silly one. JKS would have to go up huge, and Buster will hunt him down before things get too naughty.
Well, there's 8. They've won the half here. Best they can do is 10, and that's what they managed in the first half of Mirage.
I just realized who I'd like instead of NATO on the second rule.
Whom?
S attack.
Sure. The problem is he's playing A.
Yeah, okay, touche. But in terms of roles, I don't think anyone else I'd prefer over the second orb setup. But like, I was just kind of brainstorming like where it would come from. I know Config like sometimes will whip it out when he's feeling himself, but yeah, they don't really have that fallback, and it's not a compulsory component.
It's a 3-man boost short here. This aggressive short play again out of Complexity.
If it ain't broke.
Oh, NATO's so scared.
Oh, he's only just got across to B. That's the VP effect for you. Yakinda, nothing visible on his Blame F sweep of Xbox there, and they've got a nice little flash for the reaggress here. Blind, hits his crouch key, but spotted. And if they reek back in, it's the Yakinda special. Good catch from NATO. He reacts to the call, aggresses a little bit. And James to punish Poison. There's so many CTs for him to contend with here, and with Sanji long, Buster's just going to poke B. This is so naughty. Look at this. As Sanji starts saying, I'm over at A, come and get me. Buster pokes some prods. He could have been in B by now. NATO's flash implies he doesn't know, but he will now soon. As this is the head-to-head, Buster looking to isolate his B defender. NATO passes the test. And call that 6.
Yeah, he was set up there multiple times, NATO, getting flash force, so the supportive element looking good, and into B we go. He needs to stand one last test here. The cavalry's on the way, they're rotating over. He's stuck in towards Car. Kick it in James. Oh, they can't get it done. Kick it tries. James denies the AWP. Throw that one away and get yourself an AK, my friends.
You big meanie.
Okay, well, great stuff there, and a very important round for Complexity to win towards the tail end of this half. And you can see what the change-up was. Instead of allowing VP to play and hold your rotations at bay with mid to Bs and short execs, you take short, you take them out of the equation, you force them to be flustered. And good teamwork there. They were setting each other up. It was nice to see the flash work in multiple occasions. And here we go. Round number 15.
Just watching NATO solve the mystery of beating James on doors, and out Yakinda goes straight out long, looking for some sort of safe haven. This is going to be chaos, so strap in. Yakinda, lovely ang. VP have killed everyone other than Poison on long side. And it's just him and NATO up against the world. Poison to solo hold A. And he's gone for CT. If he can wrap around short for the defense, I suppose that's cool. VP are pulling the plug.
Oh, if they both pick and push through middle here, they might catch VP in transition. How safe are they going to be? Oh, not tucking tail.
Oh, wowzers, trousers, Poison. No double zoom necessary.
Yikes. Are they going back to A now?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Cancel that. Poison's called our bluff.
You shall not pass, apparently. Buster's very noisy about this, and the problem with that is James is coming, so kind of telegraphing this one.
A smoke. Poison will have something to work with in the vision department, though. That's a tiny gap for him. Reaction speed test, go. Doesn't hit the first. He doesn't know if one's across, though. There's still one to find, and that's NATO gone. Buster's done a lot for VP there and does have the opportunity to not only plant safe, Poison, the unknown entity. looking for an incredibly impactful finish here, and he's making noise now. They can peek him together, essentially. Does isolate the Jules. He's looking for Jame. Suspects him, but he's close, just in the open, hiding in plain sight. They take 9. And Virtus.pro are within touching distance. 7 rounds separating them from a compulsory win in their project here in Group B. Complexity on the ropes.
Pull yourself back together and staying off track forever. Child of the
Got a joke for you, Chad.
Knock, knock. What's the joke?
5 CTs by 5 sets of Kevlar vests. That's the joke.
Where's the punchline?
Well, you're about to see it. Complexity have got themselves plenty of nades, in fact 2 sets of a full belt, and they're charging long, and Sanji is not having any issues so far. In fact, he's already received blame with a smile and a bullet.
Well, he's normally the punchline.
Yeah, he is, or the butt of the jokes for sure. And he's still doing damage. JKS is wondering where all his health has just gone, and it's thanks to Sanji and his pepper. There's a tag looking to dish out a little salt. Trying to plant that bomb uncontested. Sanji going for a little attempt. It does result in his death. Now we've got a 4v4, and it is going to be determined by these duels. NATO Safix keeps Yakinda honest on his flank long, so now they will focus their assault through short, one crawling up towards elevator. JKS would love this win. It's not going to be easy. Buster's been one of the best for VP so far, and contact's coming. NATO deleted Buster's sharp, and they're just dropping like flies. Only Essa tag, and it's just perfect. Oh, Virtus.pro Make Complexity look a little silly there.
Double digits reached in just 6 more rounds now for Virtus.pro, as every single team coming in today's play at EPL for Group B can qualify. With this win, that's going to set things into motion here to make this group as sticky and messy as possible. And for Complexity, even with a loss, they are still not out. It's just going to make tomorrow all that more interesting, isn't it?
Well, we're going to have no lock. Oh, wait, we'll have OG locked.
OG's locked. I think if Fours win later, maybe they're locked. I'll have to double check.
They control their fate.
But if G2 win that game, woof, 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 rub your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow will get spicy. Maybe not as spicy as round 17, though. 2 AK-47s. One for NATO, one for Blame. JKS and Essa tag, obliged with the drops. Poison into the Scout, and scouting out middle right now. Has Jame on the other side. Scout for him as well, and warning shots exchanged. A late long is the play. Sanji appears to be the weakness they'd love to pressure, and he's just transitioning into pit now.
You want my Sanji, you got to get through me, says Jame as his shots do connect. He's tagged up 2 with that.
Master, they're coming!
Oh, you're right. There is a Dobby element to Sanji, isn't there? And there he goes. First down. And they are going to commit to this. They're making no secret of it. Buster's already vacated. Jekinder's looking to back him up with a bit of short presence. He really has confirmed the suspicions that this is the all-in. But there is no one to actively hold them at bay. Kicker and this damn Gandalf position. They're going to drop the simple smoke for him.
Whoa, whoa.
That's the bomb plant loose. Kicker caught on the way back. Good util and better fragging out of Blame. He's made a 7th look realistic here, if not a guarantee. Yakinda's on the retreat and Deagle shots to hit. It does confirm the save. But Complexity win it out, and it's a product of Blame. I mean, I saw VP's retakes. We've seen them time and time again. And this was the second round forced by VP, at least competitive. It was James tagging him up, Sanji just unable to get much done.
Yeah, it was really confusing the other day when we watched Fours versus VP, and Fours kept going for these late, long plays to try and punish Sanji, and James just stayed posted on the long corner with the AWP the entire time. Now, look, James didn't have an AWP, and to be fair, he did hit the first shot with the Scout. If he had an AWP, maybe it would have been the same as that Fours game, where they walk out long, they die, and then the round just falls apart. I'm going to be interested to see how Complexity want to deal with that, because if they think Sanji's a weakness in the same way that Fours did, well, they are going to beat that AWP more often than not. Great opening there from NATO, and this second one from Blame, that's the one that sealed the deal.
Yeah, I mean, Buster's been the real issue for Complexity so far. 19, closing in on 20 frags.
Let's see if he cools now, and if that changes a lot. It's crazy. Alex, take a little bit of a look at the utility damage for VP. I know they were on the T side.
Yeah.
But it's just, it's nothing. So the highest right now is 33 on Sanji. Let's see if that goes up now they're on the CT half.
Yeah, gosh, it is. I mean, it's the start of their CT campaign. Maybe not fair to point fingers, but admittedly.
Well, you're normally going to get more on the CT side because you have the corridors to nade into and stuff, but you think on the T side, like, molly to certain positions to do a little bit of damage, maybe some chunk HEs together. But I guess if we're considering VP, it's not like they do stack nades too often, right? This is just the saved AUG M4 and a couple of Deagles, and the AUG's the first one to step on out into the line of sight. You never know when your Kinder's going to strike.
Yeah, had some good acceleration on that.
You have to ask the question now, where does Blame want to finish? Because he knows the AUG was mid, doors was smoked off, so your Kinder could still be towards B. He could also be over here towards A. And what's Kickit cooking up here? I think he's going to kind of negate their set of wall smokes with a smoke of his own.
Which could really rot the clock. Like, if they think they're about to go A, that smoke from Kickit does arrive, and he can now play around it. He's isolated them, does very well to find the frag. But Yakinder up to his usual antics, pre-aiming onto the JKS angle. S-attack to keep it clear. You got a shot here if you are Sanji. Now smoked off, he tries his luck, and yeah, good find from Poison. Those 2 pushed up CTs are found, and so Jimmy's rustled. It's Complexity that collect an 8th.
Okay, well, they're going to slowly work their way back into this. And with the loss bonus coming in next round of play being 1,900, I'm curious to see what the buyers are looking like over there. I don't think VP are going to be going for that full investment by any means. They won't be able to get that AWP out for James, so it should just be another save. Sanji trying to get an extra kill or two. And that'll be it for round number 18, as we now turn our sights on what should be a complexity 9th. They're able to tie things up here if they win this and then the consecutive gun round, and then we'll be back on in similar fashion as we were on Mirage. Now, I was saying not a whole lot of nade damage, 2 of which have been purchased on up here, 1 for Sanji, 1 for Yakinja, and both of which are heading over towards long. Now, if they throw them immediately, nobody will be home, and yeah, you can hear those go off in the distance in Poison's vision there. Blame F straight down mid. NATO gallivanting for some cat control. JKS checking in from lower dark, and straight out the mid doors or a cat push could be likely here. Should have a good idea they are against these pistols. And Blame was talking about his entries being more aggressive. Well, here he is. Look at this, straight out. 1 found. Put another one in that column for the attempts. Everybody hitting the deck here, one after the other. VP fall. And Complexity, they aren't done yet in this series. Okay, kick it. Pops his head up, gets a kill. Just a consolation frag, an extra $300 in that bank balance. That'll be an extra nade or a flash or a smoke.
I need to see what a eucalyptus plant looks like.
You're still on that?
Well, just I was thinking about the flower again. Ah, yes. Definitely not what I had in mind.
Do you know what a gum nut is?
No. A gum nut? Is it a source of gum?
I don't know why we call it gum nuts. My grandparents used to call it a honky nut. I'm not quite sure. I don't know.
No, probably not that either. We've got 3 down mid. Blame already with a great deal of control, and he's beaten across Jame, and I think he's aware of it. So falling off the close line. Bit of a standoff again between Sanji, Esatag, and now Jame. He's floated back again. Okay, well, Molotov and Smoke combined does force Yakinda to... Wow, good lineup on his Smoke actually means he maintains full mid control. Like, he's played that perfectly.
Yeah, the fact that he didn't throw it early as well, like, he's getting the most of that molly and now the most out of this Smoke, and oh dear. Players just avoiding each other. Nade through from Yakinda will tickle up with no damage whatsoever, mind you. As some fake utility over towards A. They're sending Blame out for another opening kill attempt.
He might jump down, we'll see. That's the fight, and that's the frag. Kick it gone, and he does descend. It's smoked for now. They're going to try and pincer B, and the Buster and Yakinda are ready for this. There should be a trade available. Poison puts it down. It's Yakinda. Only the 1. Okay, Complexity looking set for a 10th here, and we are going to tie things right up.
Oh dear, okay. Jame over towards T-Spawn might just want to perch up and grab some exits on the way out the door. But that was great. That was really good stuff. So they're using their utility to help Blame get set up for these plays, and he's doing a good job of it. He's doing a good job of it. You have to look to, first of all, what was going to be the change for Complexity coming out of the break with Esatag replacing Rush and Peacemaker replacing Keita. We always knew there was going to be something looking different, right? It wasn't going to be the same mix.
Yeah.
And then the question becomes, well, now Config is out. Who is going to pick up the slack of, in my opinion, the driving force of the team? I think Config is irreplaceable. Jamal had the 13th kill to the tally, retain the AWP. But they need to start getting some rounds on the board. Only 1 so far, and that was the pistol. They've let it drop ever since that force buy.
You know how we were talking about that death essay Chris J retweeted?
Yeah.
And you know how we were talking about how it kind of wakes you up. You're like, you start becoming hyper aware of all the things you should be more grateful about. Do you think Config sitting on a sofa with his hand on a cast is gonna have any further breakthroughs? I know we've already had that kind of story arc of talented bad boy with a bad attitude becomes, you know, closer to realizing his potential. The Thorin essay.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Call. But
Okay.
I wonder if there's any more levels to Config and if this is going to be something he can recover from and find even more hunger within.
I think it's going to make him hungrier for sure.
Yeah.
I can't believe they're about to lose this round.
It's actually too much to ignore.
It's already happened. They've already lost it in my eyes.
And it was a product of just a simple doors double D.
Yeah, getting a bit ahead of themselves there against the low buy.
Yeah, and it is already over in Chad's mind. James got a great pop flash for Poison's clear. Sanji, look how passive he is.
Well, James can AWP above Sanji here.
Yeah, it's the classic James sets for success. Now, they've planted safe, and that's something.
They have to be aware that ramp's a possibility. Sanji's just like a secret agent right now.
Yeah, they'll have to assume it's... Or maybe they're operating under the assumption it's clear. They're actually trying to double up on short.
Oh, if Sanji goes now, they're not looking, Sanji.
They're not looking.
This is your chance.
One's looking. He can strike. Yakinda's left. They know exactly where he is. They're already on the bomb. He's got to go clearing. NATO, call the bluff. Call the bluff. Be brave. Be brave. Be brave. Call the bluff. Ah, okay. James was bodyguarding, and yeah, they do let it slip away.
So they went for something a little bit more aggressive there in the complexity camp, and it comes back to bite them, right? And we've been talking about, obviously, the need for a little bit of more of that, but that's the second round for VP. So when the guns are out, complexity have looked like the better team. It's just when we're seeing these pistol strikes. So yeah, straight out the doors, a fast mid-control falling flat very quickly, and then JKS trying to take space, not ready for that big green. And that one there, a rough one. Peacemaker not happy with that. Well, they have enough for the buy here. Poison's AWP's out. Both teams are sitting flush for cash, and Poison wants to use that AWP out long fast. Warning shot fired. Sanji escorted towards the pit. James this time with the AWP towards short. So, ooh, and the double AWP, a buster out here as well.
JKS, very lucky to have not just got caught out by that. I thought Yakinda's aggressive maneuver might have put the bomb completely isolated from the team. But it just seems like he's got that info. Very early into the piece, though, we know this is very punishing for VP when they're doing their maneuvers. Assume it's got the same fate for JKS. He's got the bloody bomb. Yeah, throwing it to Blame, but they could both go down if Mr. Savage isn't alert. He's looking the wrong way. Oh, that's a gift for JKS. Whew, sweat off the brow. And again, they return to the doors where they met their demise.
Oh, a bit of a missed CT smoke there. So Kickit, he's now noticed that there might be a bit of a problem here. He's been heard, Flame is spamming, damage done, number advantage. It's going to be used over towards this B site now that has been evacuated. Buster's AWP is about to get smoked off.
Oh, this is perfect. If they go now, they have to commit. Be brave, boys, because you've got the full site. Smoked him off as well, and
They've
it's just not, I mean, when you've got a double AWP, you're not retaking.
Yeah, they've already called it here. So Complexity, the Calamity of last round, they've already bounced back from this, and that's what I was saying. The gun rounds, Complexity are looking better. All right, this is another one that they immediately respond with, and just really, right? JKS, it was the oddest of moments. Yakinda comes down, JKS just turns around, catches him in the act of
flanking.
Yeah, and there you have it. That's all we needed was one kill and away we go. 11-11 tied up here. Looks like we're going the distance. Now, map number 3 will be Overpass. I think Yanko was saying that he felt that Complexity needed to get it done in 2 if they were to win the series. Overpass a little bit more technical.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when you were listening to the interview with Blame and Frankie, he talks about getting ready for this Pro League with what? A stand-in, and I think you had less than a week to get him more comfortable.
I think it all happened very quickly, didn't it? And the fact that they even got him out there to the boot camp, I believe they're in Serbia.
I swear he's done that before, though. Like, last minute, he's just on a plane. Like, yeah, get into LA.
He's just standing by. He's like the emergency fighter. If someone doesn't make weight, he's just there ready to go.
Yeah. And, I mean, you can feel for NATO as well, because he gets regular tastes of exactly where he wants to be. Like he gets to sample it. Like, you know, like we're talking, he goes to Michelin star restaurants and he gets like a tasting board.
I'm with you.
And then he's condemned to McDonald's for the rest of the week.
Yeah, that's one way of looking at it I hadn't considered before. Well, maybe that's enough to keep driving him to strive for that goal. Config's going to be out for a while, so might be with this Complexity project for some time. And they're going back to this long play. No Jame AWP here, though, but Kickit is with Sanji, and they're doubled up on the doors. The spam through. Magnificent.
Huh? Oh, they don't clear Sanji because of Kickit's steps. Well, that hurts. That sucks. And Sanji's at least going to be able to get away scot-free, actually. Never mind.
Well, they're quickly scurrying elsewhere. JKS needs to do an aggressive maneuver outdoors. He has to find something with this push.
Yeah, they're already catching up with him, so he hasn't necessarily pushed, but now all three of them gathered and drop the smoke and have a go. It's time for a biff. Buster and Yakinda. The cavalry's on its way. Whatever you do, don't look at that CT for long. You'll get flashed forever. Poison's just about got his vision back as they have to be corralled into the site. There's a timing on this. Buster. Oh, such a good flash. Such a good flash. And now they've got a chance. They're into the site. Buster's faffing around with his AWP. He still hits the shot. Trade from Juzzy. And now a 2 to find, a 1v2. And with it all to do, 18 bullets. And the gap has been closed. Kickit and Jame. A fake now then. They know it's a fake by now. And the head was there in the crosshairs. James just too quick on the draw.
Ooh, bit of a death slam there. Saw the webcam wobble. Man, that's a frustrating one to lose. But once you lose 2 players at long, you're scrambling at that point. They did a great job to even claw that back to a respectable looking round here. We get to catch some James POV and scoped in the scope criminal. Oh, whoa, look at that. The tightest of lines. All right.
If I was making a list of players I imagine are the most irritating to play against, Jame is right up there.
Oh, the amount of times, if I died to him like crossing doors late, oh man.
And it's just all the close ones as well, because he's just got such an awareness of when duels are possible, to the point where you can't quite believe he was scoped in and ready for it. You know, those deaths where you're just like, he's expecting that.
Yeah.
You just start getting driven up the wall.
I think that's just like the nature of Jame, right? Because they do play such this slow maneuver, they get the map control and then he's making the calls, and his job is kind of just to lock down these positions. It's more rare we see him go for the fight than the fight come to him.
Yeah.
So he is just waiting for any possibility. And with all the info that his team gets him, it's always quite a nice place to be, right? Because you're able to piece the puzzle together in your head. You've got your scouts that have gone out across the map and they've dialed it back into the big green. Now, it was actually the timeout from VP here. And as we're staring down the barrel of the late stages, round 24 about to commence, you can understand why both teams are in a precarious position regarding the economy. The loss bonus for whoever loses this one is 1,900.
All right, so whoever wins this round wins the map.
Well, we could put it that way.
We could. I mean, it wouldn't be a guarantee, but it would certainly be a dramatic framing. And here we go. James already posted up for Poison, and it's too easy for him. Cole lose the very pointy end of their attack. They were supposed to have a flirtatious Poison pressuring short. Instead, James not only dealt with that, he's ready to deal with you on long as well. Anybody else? Yes, indeed. Flames next. Sanji's alongside for the ride, and just 2 members. Make it 1 member of the poor Complexity squad, as they are absolutely wounded and sent packing. They didn't lose a single point of damage there.
That just looked way too easy, didn't it? VP. Line him up, knock him down. Jame reading the game very well here. It's that first, has so much time to reposition, and yeah, Poison, there was a lot of pressure put on him to get space, and when he doesn't, it's an all-in long. And I think they were between 2 minds in that long play, because you knew Jame was short, so maybe if we react quickly, we can beat him before he can rotate across, but they weren't unable to get the troops together. And come on, Jame, this is getting a bit silly, isn't it?
He nearly went down, he does. Oh, that's fantastic work out of Cole. They've actually managed to get the AWP as well, so if anyone over-rotates, Buster, oh, he did give him a chance. He gave him a chance to a wide-open run to B.
Look how locked in they are here. Yakinda has the fallback covered. Kick it. Well, I know he's right now up towards short, but he can lock down this mid to B with Buster and window at any time. So as long as they don't overstep the mark into Blame, who's currently, or was currently scoped on in, all good in the hood. They're setting up a boost. Yakinda's going to get all 3 here.
Hi, guys.
1, 2, and 3. I'll take that all for Master Jame. Thank you very much. Well, that's 14. And the guns coming back out. Complexity's last chance here to put up too much of a fight. And this loss bonus for the next round of play, if they do lose this round and they don't get the bomb down, the only amount of money they'll have next to their name is $2,900, because everyone's going to spend almost everything. So this is just how rough it's gotten for Complexity. Oh, it's a biff straight down the guts and straight into the AWP again. Jame.
Oh, and onto Poison as well. Like, frustration's just bubbling over now. And he is such an issue for Complexity. You can see that they're actually all in fear of him. They're actually running into each other in suicide. just trying to work out what the bloody hell they're supposed to do now.
Yeah, and that's just the gear shift. Aggressive short, picking mid. He's normally at long. They thought they could get away with something. You're not getting away with anything, Buster. Oh, Blame, not known to be an AWPer. Gives them something to work with. 4 on 4. And plenty of time. What's going on here? They've heavy rotated for this mid to B right now.
They got no one A. No one.
I suppose if they go for a 2-man upper dark push with Yakinda leading the charge.
JKS is there, he's anticipating it. Oh. Big find, huge find from JKS. Now, Kickit's got his feet planted on this door's position. So as long as they don't try and go through mid, it is just a 4 versus 1. It's gonna be loud about it. Lots of information for Kickit to work with, and Sanji still has to Incendiary to deny.
Well timed.
Very well timed. Blame's down and out. Ready to push on in.
Sanji didn't hear it, or did he?
Didn't hear it, didn't acknowledge it. Checks it now. Big find from Blame, and that will be 12. Complexity. Solid conversion after losing poison to James Antics again. This time they've overcome it, and it's kind of through Blame's own hand. He took the initiative, took the AWP right back, and JKS will take the AWP out of James' hands as well. Here we go. Now you're cooking with something.
Oh, still plenty of money for Virtus.pro over there to go for another buy right here, right now. Complexity will need to win another one on the trot to, well, give Virtus.pro a taste of their own medicine as far as that financial department goes.
Poison's the last 2 rounds has been the opening death with an AWP on his back. So let's see if he can actually, you know, get a chance to utilize it before James takes him out. He definitely will this time. He's opted for the B lean. Yakinda gets himself across. Speaking of B, there's only 1 man there. If they were to somehow find this pick on his first glance, it's a very different state of affairs. Poison's posted up. Yakinda's far too wise to be giving anything away such as that. Don't speak too soon, Alex. Oh! And they might just go for this. Buster is enough to deter. JKS so low, a flubbed Incendiary. They are committing to this. They know that they can force the issue here. They really can. Buster's doing everything he can to slow him down. The bomb loose.
Keep the NATO flank in the back of your mind here. He's taken long control. He could be behind them any moment here. So if they want to save, NATO can deny it all.
From behind. And down goes Jay. That's exactly what he needed to do. He can't die now. Doesn't need to. They're trapped between NATO and the bomb plant. The only option's mid, and that's exactly where they're channeled up. This is for saving now. Complexity are closing the gap to a very competitive standpoint. This is 13. NATO with another punish.
Needed that one, didn't he? The pressure now is just going to continue here. Complexity, they can smell blood in the water. Take away another gun. NATO, the hunter.
Here we go, bro. He's feeling frisky.
These are really important kills.
Yeah.
Like, these are really important kills for the tail end of this game.
You talk about CTs having their money broken at the tail end of a map. Well,
1900 now. Like, they're the ones who have to stomach potentially giving up 14, right? If Buster lives...
If Ezetag strafes, he'd be on for a chance, but no.
You really would love to have seen them get that one, because you know what Buster's going to do? He's not going to hold on to that. He's going to give that straight to James. And James has been really good in finding these openings. So even though VP are going to be operating with just the AWP that was saved and maybe some upgraded pistols, with James alive, you start to think it's possible.
And this is the Complexity special. You know, over the course of this series, they've been able to win against the guns. It's against these dastardly pistols and save rifles they've had a couple of woes. And they're walking into James' domain on short. He's tucked in. Yakinda to bait and perhaps even switch.
It's pressure on these two, right? You've got 3 stack on B right now. James AWP, right? The game plan here is James has to get a kill or at least presence alone to scare them into the B stack. That's what they're banking on.
He banks the molly right onto James' location. It's a bit short. I thought that was actually going further. That only clears the closed stairs, so he's still viable, he's still valid, and he thinks better of it.
They still don't know where the AWP is exactly, so no long presence right now. This little boost is going to be maybe too late. Oh, okay, really sketchy stuff now. Did they see the AWP? Maybe they did. They are tucking tail.
It looks very mid to B here. Yeah, the util confirms our suspicions. It's a good way to avoid the AWP, but Will you avoid the stack? Pistols are there, James to flank. If you start hitting a couple of headies, it gets threatening. Just like that.
Oh no, the
Sanji
USP.
with just a USP, bro. And that Deagle, oh, it started taking chunks. He was swinging his axe. Only takes the one, so a sigh of relief for Complexity fans.
Well, they got what they wanted, VP. They channeled them into the stack of the bomb site there. It's now about protecting James Orp one last time. And well, next round, they get the 2,400. So you will see that cash start to skyrocket. But now I think is the point where Complexity have the stranglehold of this game. Complexity are the ones who find themselves with a bit of extra bank balance, especially after they secure this one right here, right now, to tie things up at 14-14. So even if they lose the next round to play to VP and they grab that 15th round, they'll have enough to contest. Has been quite the back and forth affair here. Just a quick little look at the scores on the doors as Yakinda tries to be as prickly as possible. Bomb goes off. He does enough damage to take Blame with him. We've got 21 kills for James, 22 for Buster, 20 for Yakinda, 15 for Kickit, and 13 for Sanji. On the other side of things, Blame, F, and JKS both with 20 kills apiece. Poison with 17, 15 for NATO, and Esatag with 14. Here we go. The most important round so far. VP lose this. They have nothing. They go into the final round of the half of the game, of the map, with just 2,900.
Okay, well, you've made it very clear just how much is on the line here, Chad. Blame showing a sheer willingness and bravery to peek those doors that have bested him on crucial rounds before. Still pokes his head out. No Deagles this time to lop it off.
Lots of space early.
Yeah, James got a great angle for this, though, and edging into James' crosshairs. Familiar territory for Cole. They've actually chosen not to advance past the line in the sand drawn now by James AWP, and they're returning for a bit of a short run boost, I think.
Buster's only opted for a Deagle here. He still has 1250 left over. This is interesting. It's almost like they're playing in case they lose this round with some of the investments.
Yeah, sure. Full A nades. Well, there you go. That pulled out the defensive response. You've seen Kicker try and throw that a couple of times.
Yeah, and the problem is Sanji only has a molly and a HE left over to help defend, and he's in the pit right now, all the way up towards long.
Flash will keep James busy. Time to commit. Here goes everything. Complexity committing into way with 30 seconds left to work their magic. It's Yakinda from Goose. Good for one, and so is Kicker. There's the response from Complexity. They have the sight. Sanji long rotate in from B side. JKS responsible for short, but they are opting for CT. Buster and Jane partner up. Kit on that long player, so he'd have to cover a lot of ground. They're going to go for it after James hits that shot. NATO with a lot to do, partnered up with JKS. The comms better be clear here. And NATO getting closer and closer to contesting on ramp. He hears them coming, using the smoke, trying to find some elevation. There's so many bodies over the side. NATO with a great second. And Sanji running out of options and running out of time. He'll have to hold it. And we just need to see JKS with the denial. Call it 15. Cole have an opportunity to push us to 3 right here, right now.
Oh. Now that money situation for VP really starts to hurt. Can you believe Complexity have brought this one back? They've had some rounds really go their way. Or if you think about it the other way, VP have really let some slip. Remember how this all started? A B pistol round that they had a 3v5 advantage on the very first round of Dust2 here.
Ooh-wee. Okay, Cole, here we go.
Overtime or bust for VP.
Overtime or bust, and it's the long call. Blame leading by example. He goes first out on his call, takes the jewel he was ready and willing to take. There's no one home to receive him, though. They've actually got Jame on short side, so there's no AWP presence. Poison gets to really work his magic on this. If anyone wants to have a look, which I'm sure Sanji is far too well trained, he's probably holding a smoke. Yep. Right now, staring at the floor.
They have the info, right? Yakinda through tunnels, Buster top mid, everything's called clear. This is just a classic Na'Vi, as we were calling this about a year ago.
Yeah, and if you're ever feeling like, oh, I don't want to die early on A, just do what Sanji's doing right now. Take a look. You just pull the smoke out, you sit there, and you get ready to throw it when your teammates start shooting. Like now. And he will deploy it just in the nick of time. They go wide on that, and Sanji executes. Brilliant work. Can he get any more done? He can. JKS is his next victim. He's made it competitive after all. 45. The bomb needs to go down. That's NATO Safix getting it in.
No kit for this retake.
Yeah,
we'll
no mollies
either.
on. Better util on Yakinda. And he's coming in from long. It's not the perfect weapon for an MP9. James trying to find presence. And you know Collar's just screaming, stay in. Stay in, rot the clock. NATO, if you release that crouch key, you're a dead man. Buster's on the crawl. S-attack tested, and he passes with flying colors. Yakinda's just not got the weapon for this. And it does look like Dust2's falling away from Virtus.pro. It would have to be now. Yakinda has connected with James. No kit, no time. NATO's done enough, but I think that's it. Complexity are pushing us to overpass. They say play on. G2